new Isuzu D-Max is perhaps one of the more underrated pickup truck models here in Malaysia. When it was first launched in the middle of 2021, I gave it a quick first impressions video where I said this is a huge improvement over the previous generation model. What I did not do, however, was give it a full walk around video to talk about the full intricacies of the exterior and the interior and all the details that this car fully deserves, because its showroom appeal is immense. If you're looking for a pickup truck, I think you should at least check this car out in the showrooms, because if not, you're not really getting the full picture of the pickup truck market here in Malaysia. Now let's start with pricing. The all-new D-Max comes in no less than 8 different variants, with prices starting from 89,000 ringgit going all the way up to 142 for this top-of-the-range X-Terrain model. Now that is the widest variant range available in the pickup truck market today, so it's easier to pick based on your budget and your spec preferences. Now, a lot has been said about this car's big price hikes compared to the old previous version. But as with a lot of things you see on the internet today, that's not quite the truth and the whole truth. There's a little bit of sensationalism there as well. The previous gen D-Max did top out 121,000 ringgit for the 3-litre premium version. That same variant is still available in the new D-Max today, and that now goes for 128,000 ringgit. And in fact, the more recent special editions with a lot of small little visual add-ons, that already was going for 128,000 ringgit. So spec by spec, variant by variant, the increase is not quite as much as you may first think. This particular variant, the X-Terrain, is an all-new flagship variant for Isuzu. It was not sold before, so it's not replacing any model. You can't quite compare spec by spec with the previous ranges. This here goes against all the pickup trucks with the fancy names like the Ford Ranger Wildtrak, the Toyota Hilux Rogue, the Mitsubishi Triton Athlete, the Nissan Navara 4X Pro, and so on. So this technically is Isuzu's first entry into the world of lifestyle trucks. But in true Isuzu fashion, compared to its direct rivals, this is still one of the most affordable options in the pickup truck market today. Through its own research, Isuzu Malaysia has found out that no more than 30% of all pickup trucks sold in Malaysia are actually used as workhorses. And more crucially, 44% of them are never ever used off-road. They're always used on the road, in the city, as a daily car for the family, as a lifestyle truck. So with this X-Terrain, Isuzu is now trying to get a slice of that big lucrative pie it has been missing out on for the past few years. What we have with the X-Terrain is definitely one of the most stylish pickup trucks in the market today, plus definitely the best interior in the business with the most advanced tech today as well. Now let's move on to styling. Over the recent years, the pickup truck market has moved away from looking like big and chunky off-roaders to favor a much more sporty looking design. Now that is to appeal to a much wider market. The new D-Max fits that trend to a T with this very aggressive and sporty front face. This is as modern as pickup trucks get. The big center grille definitely draws your attention in, especially with this angry looking fangs, and the small headlamps, very slim, very sharp, definitely adds a touch of modernity to the full look. These are top-end stuff too. These are high-end LED projectors together with a nice U-shaped LED DRLs. Even the fog lamps down here are LEDs. Like I said before, definitely one of the most stylish pickup trucks in the market today. Onto the side, you'll see the window line has been made a lot narrower, a lot slimmer than before. This is to give it a much sportier look compared to the previous version. Isuzu says the D-Max design was honed in the same wind tunnel as the Japanese bullet train, the Shinkansen, so it is now as aerodynamic as pickup trucks can be. The big 18-inch wheels also serve dual purposes. It's almost fully closed in for better aero properties, but the slits are purposely made very small and thin. Now this is to minimize the risk of any small pebbles or rocks coming in to disrupt your braking system. Finished in dark grey, they also look very cool to boot, so I think this is all a very successful design as a whole. Onto the back, there's only so much you can do to dress up a pickup truck because it's just, slab-sided. They all look pretty much the same. but Isuzu has tried its best to make this car stand out. The taillights have a bit of a sharp edges to them. It's got a bit of shapes as well, so it doesn't look as boring as most other pickup trucks do. The rear bumper is fully integrated into the body, so it doesn't look like a big and random metal bar that's just stacked on like an afterthought in most other pickup trucks. One thing that is a bit of a disappointment is the lack of a sports bar as standard. Now there is one available as an option, but that is the old school tube type, not the much better looking ones we've seen in other markets. That rolls on with the design much nicer, I think. Now onto the utilities. The tailgate is very easy to use because it has a pair of dampers on the side to make it a lot easier to open and close it. This is now so light, very easy to use, and you can just release it from up top. It doesn't crash all the way down, making it look very cheap. Another thing I really like is this sliding load tray. This makes it a lot more convenient to load things in and out without having to climb up to reach the smaller bits deep within the bed. Even more so than on the outside, it is inside the D-Max where it really stands tall as a big standout among the pickup class in Malaysia. I mean, just look at this dashboard. This does not look like anything we've seen from a pickup truck before. This looks like a proper SUV cabin. The material choice is all excellent. At the top half, it's all soft touch, and you've also got real stitching at the top here. Moving down, you get, of course, hard plastics all around, but if you look closely, the textures look really good. None of these nasty, scratchy plastics that is common in most pickup trucks out there. And then, of course, there's the color options. The entire headlining is now fully black instead of, light gray or beige, and then the dashboard is all black. Top half is brown, as well as the seats. This really does look like you're in a premium SUV. The center screen over here is a proper Isuzu OEM unit, none of those aftermarket nonsense in other trucks. So this has the full feature set, including wireless Apple CarPlay, a very premium feature not available in a lot of other vehicles. So now your phone can stand on its own without having to be cabled on whenever you drive. Android Auto is also supported, but only through a cabled connection. Unfortunately, the screen only has a reverse camera instead of a full 360-degree video camera. But then again, the reverse camera here is so nice, so crisp, so clean. I think it's even more usable than the blurry 360s you find in the Toyota Hilux and Mitsubishi Triton. Moving down here, you get a dual zone climate control system, but instead of the big and chunky old school dials you get in most other trucks, here you get a very passenger-like set of aircon controls. These are very sleek looking small buttons with very clear indicators, very easy to use, nice within reach as well, much more modern than those big chunky dials from before. Now on to the practical stuff. The seats not only look good, they are extremely supportive. You can see at the top here, there's proper shoulder support. Not a lot of pickup trucks, not even a lot of cars have this much support on the front seats. And then you've got a double glove box over here, handy to fit everything, and there's a small one at the top as well. Even though I'm not sure how useful this can be, it's quite shallow and it's at the top of the dashboard, so it gets hot pretty fast. I'm also not a big fan of certain trim pieces on this car, especially on this steering wheel over here. This looks very, very cheap. A little bit scratchy as well, and it's right in front of your face, so yeah, it's not quite a full, complete experience, but as far as pickup trucks go, this is definitely the best out there. This has easily surpassed the Ford Rangers having the best, most premium cabin in the business. Older D-Maxes have always struggled when it comes to the rear quarters because those cars were primarily designed as hard-working workhorses rather than anything else. This new version, however, like I said, is now positioned as a lifestyle vehicle, so the rear quarters is going to be just as important as everything else. For the most part, pretty much everything has been immensely improved. As you can see, in terms of space, this is pretty big. There's a lot of legroom left, and headroom is not going to be a problem either. I am only 167 centimeters tall, but even if you're significantly taller than me, you should be able to fit here just fine, no issues at all. Now, as for seat comfort, it's a bit of a mixed bag. As far as comfort goes, this is pretty good. The seat base is very long, it's a full size one, and support is quite decent as well. But the backrest angle is a little bit too upright. This is a lot more angled than the old cars for sure, but compared to say a Mitsubishi Triton, this is still a little bit too upright. For longer journeys, you might have a few people complaining of back aches and stuff. But that's only going to be for a very long drive, like 3-4 hours and up. Anything less, they should be just fine in the back here. On top of that, you've also got rear aircon vents, the first time for the D-Max, and this is a big plus for our climate. And then you've got a handy teh tarik hook up here for, you know, all your tapau things and stuff. And in terms of practicality, you can do a lot of things with this rear seat. You can tip forward the backrest for a small little hidden cargo bay, which is quite useful for a car to be used as an everyday truck. And you can even tip up the rear seats to store taller items. This is something like a Honda Ultra seat in the Jazz and whatnot. All in all, just like the front, the rear cabin is massively improved as well. It is now fit for a proper lifestyle truck. Now onto the things under the skin. The third generation D-Max is built on an all-new platform which is much more rigid than before. So this is not a redress of the old version, it really is all new from the ground up. The engine options are pretty similar to before. There is a very small 1.9 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel, and that makes 150 HP and 350 Newton meters of torque. The upper end of the range gets a bigger, more powerful 3-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel, and this makes 190 HP and 450 Newton meters of torque. The 3-litre engine in particular has seen quite a big upgrade over the old version. It has 70 Newton meters more, even though if you look at all the total numbers, it's not quite as impressive as its rivals are. As it is, its figures are quite comparable to the ones on the Triton 2.4, and the Hilux 2.8 has more power and torque compared to this. But then again, Isuzu is known for under-tuning its engine, all in the name of ultimate reliability and fuel efficiency. So in the end, in the long run, perhaps this will win out after all. The 3-litre engine is pretty much all new anyway. There's a brand new turbocharger and the entire top head is all new. All the changes are made to improve its refinement and of course drivability. Another new change is the transmission. Out goes the old 5-speed automatic, in comes a brand new 6-speed automatic, again promised to deliver much smoother shifts for a much better driving experience as a whole. With the all-new platform, the D-Max gets a whole host of advanced driving assist systems as well. This now gets the full suite. It gets autonomous emergency braking or AEB, it gets adaptive cruise control or ACC, and it even has a stop-and-go low-speed follow function, the first pickup truck in Malaysia to have that feature. You can imagine this is going to be a big advantage for those after a long day at work, hitting a big traffic jam. This will make it a lot less stressful and a lot less tiring going home. There's also a blind spot monitor, auto high beam system, lane keep system with the 2 cameras at the top. The only thing missing is an active lane keep assist system or a lane centering system. This is because the D-Maxes in the ASEAN market is given a hydraulic power steering system instead of an electronic power steering system in other markets. This decision was made in the name of ultimate reliability again, as well as a lower ownership cost in the long run. But even with that, this is still the most advanced truck in terms of active safety systems available today in Malaysia. One unfortunate thing is that most of it is reserved only for this flagship X-Terrain model. The rest don't get any active safety systems, which is a bit of a shame in 2021 going into 2022. One last thing that makes the X-Terrain stand out is the warranty period. It now gets a full 7-year unlimited mileage warranty, making it the longest warranty coverage in Malaysia today, by far beating the rest of its competition. If you are looking to own your pickup truck for a long period of time, the D-Max has a huge advantage in this regard. So that's our full walk around video of the all-new Isuzu D-Max here in Malaysia. Like I said at the start, this car has mega showroom appeal, and having seen this video, I'm sure most of you will agree with me as well. However, we're not quite done with the Isuzu D-Max just yet, because we are planning to do a full comparison video with its key rivals, the Toyota Hilux and the Mitsubishi Triton. So we'll see which one of the 3 best-selling pickup trucks in Malaysia is the one that you should buy. Stay tuned to our channel for that. But for now, what do you think of the new D-Max? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and stay safe, everyone.